Hi there and welcome to this lesson here that is titled Practicing Self-Love. Self-love is a pretty complex topic because although we might feel like we love ourselves, we might have a lot of confidence and whatnot, it doesn't necessarily mean that we truly embrace and love ourselves. Because one thing is achieving skills, one thing is getting better and building up, you could say, our own personal value. But a whole nother thing is truly acknowledging ourselves for the person we are and truly loving ourselves. And we're going to take a closer look at all that in this very session here. When I was younger, when I grew up, I had a lot of different challenges. And these challenges here were really getting in the way of my day-to-day experience. And although there was no reason for it, I got really frustrated with myself. Imagine that you have a really hard time doing something that you feel like everyone else is capable of doing. This situation here and these challenges here, they made me incredibly frustrated with myself, and I began really hating everything about my skills and about my own worth. I kept telling myself in a very negative way, why can't you just be like everybody else? Why do you have to be so incredibly difficult? And over time, I became really great at hating myself. I became really great at becoming more and more frustrated with the person I was. And these thoughts here, they began really getting deep roots in my mind. When I became older, I went traveling the world to find a solution for the problems I was facing. And to be honest with you, I found so many solutions, and technically my condition here was cured. I was no longer having these challenges that I was facing in my earlier life. But what was not different, what was the exact same thing, was my self-hatred that kept going on again and again. Although everything had changed for me, I still found myself being very frustrated with myself over and over again. So at one point I was in India spending time at a really small monastery. And I had a teacher of mine that I could come to and I could get counseling from whenever I had any questions. And one day I came to my teacher and I said, I feel like everything has changed. I feel like I feel better. I feel much more at peace with myself. At the same time, I'm still very frustrated. I find I have peace inside of me. But I find that I still have these thoughts here that keep nagging at me, that keep telling me that I'm stupid, that I'm no good, that I'm supposed to be frustrated with myself. And I asked him, how is this true? How is this possible? And how can I change this? How can I begin to truly love myself? And what he told me has by far been the biggest game changer on my own journey towards self-love. And this technique here is also what I want to share with you, because he told me that there's no difference between self-love and love in general. There's no difference between loving yourself and loving everything around you. This is all the same, and this is the very key to practicing self-love. He told me, and I'm going to tell you, to embrace all the things that you can possibly do in your day-to-day life. All the small things that you meet, that you find that you have a really great feeling for. Try and express love towards it. That means that whenever you wake up in the morning, feel a sensation of gratitude and love for actually waking up. When you drink your first sip of morning coffee, really embrace this sensation here and try to see how much gratitude and love you can bring into this very action here. The more you try to embrace and love the things around you, the more your brain will automatically begin to do the same thing with yourself. It sounds very crazy, but to the brain, it's actually all the same. And as soon as I begin just to love all the small things in my day-to-day life, I automatically and even surprised myself because I began to love the things about myself, the small things that I previously found frustrated. I could begin to forgive and I could begin to develop upon. So practicing self-love actually begins with us loving everything that we possibly can on a day-to-day basis. This is a really simple and tangible trick. At the same time, I know it's also can be really challenging. And that's why I'm giving away 10 free consultations on how to embrace self-love That means that if you're sitting out there feeling this lack here of self-love, I would really love to help you. And all you need to do is to reach out to me either through email or direct message. And the two of us will sit down in a personal consultation and talk about your self-love and how we can improve this all together here. Self-love, or the opposite, you could say self-hatred or self-apathy, is truly a habit. It's a habit that's beginning maybe with a trauma or a certain experience, but it's something that we humans can improve over time if we take great care of ourselves. Everything begins with you practicing this love here all together, or reaching out if you want a consultation, and then you'll be good to go with your path to self-love. Thank you so much for today. Take great care of yourself and may you enjoy everything. Bye.